Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, which means that if you list a lot of properties, one of two things has happened for you this weekend. Either you had an amazing weekend and your listings received tons of offers. And if that is the case for you, you probably do not need to watch this. Or your listings have been sitting on the market and perhaps not getting the offers that you would need in order to sell your listings. So, on Mondays and Tuesdays, something that we do, no matter if it's a great market or a terrible market, is we follow up on every single showing. And when I say following up, I don't mean just electronic from, CCS, regular feedback. I'm talking about you getting on the phones and making a deal happen. Anybody who's watching this right now, if you could drop the definition of broker in the chat, what is the definition of broker? I will go ahead and send you a $50 Starbucks card right now. You guys have 30 seconds. Tell me what the definition of broker means. To broker a deal. Go ahead. There's a little feedback. Y'all got 30 seconds. Anyone who gives me the right answer, I'm going to send you a $50 Starbucks card. Let's go. Who knows the answer? All right. So to be a broker, right? If you are in the business of real estate, you are brokering deals. Brokering a deal means bringing two parties together to create a transaction. So what does that mean? That does not mean sticking a sign on the yard, hoping, wishing, and praying that an offer shows up. And let's be honest with each other here. Let's be real. Let's go, Lady Ghost. Yep. She got it right. So, a lot of people in our industry, we were never actually taught how to do that. So, you might be like, I want to do more than hoping, wishing, and praying, but no one ever told me what to do to go out and find a buyer. Well, today I'm going to show you one thing that you can do. You can actively participate in this action that I'm going to show you on any listing that you have. So, what you want to do if your listing did not receive any offers over the weekend is exactly what I am doing right now. I'm about to get on the phones and call every single person that showed the property, whether it was my own buyer, whether it was one of my buyer's agents, whether it was an agent from another company. I'm going to call them and I am going to put together a deal right now for everyone to see on Instagram. If you guys have any questions while I'm making these calls, go ahead and drop it in the chat. My intention in doing this for you today is because I think a lot of us are wondering, why are our listings sitting? How come I have this beautiful listing? I feel like I priced it right. It's had a couple of showings, but I don't have any offers. And you as an agent, how does that make you feel when talking to your seller? If it stinks, right? That's a really stinky feeling when you have to go back to a seller like, oh, I don't know, Forrest. Right? So I hope that what I show you today is something that you can implement into your business so that you never have to worry about your listings not selling. Go ahead and drop any questions you have in the chat. I'm about to get on the phones. Right now, what I'm doing, to be very clear and specific with you, is I am calling all of the agents who have showed my listing this weekend. And what I'm looking to do is to put together a deal because I have not received any offers on any of those listings, which typically means they're overpriced. But here we go. I'm going to make my first phone call. How often do brokers pick up and agents pick up the phone? What do you guys think? Do you think agents pick up the phone? I often have to call people 3 or 4 times, send them a text, send them an email, call them 2 more times, and then I finally will get an agent to answer me. Calling once and leaving a message is not serving your seller. It is your job to get in touch with any possible person that can buy your listing. So you don't need to worry about being pushy, rude, embarrassed. You call that agent as many times as you need to until they answer the phone and give you an answer. It's your job to find out why their buyer did not make an offer on your property. Here we go. Let's make sure we're hooked up. Good.
Hello, this is Vincent.
Hey, Vincent, it's Jessica Nelson. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you 347's also New York, right?
Yes.
Do
Yeah,
people often not
that's
answer
New
you here?
Yorker.
They think you're like spam.
Oh yeah. Every every person I call is like, what am I getting a New York call for? They're like, I already get enough spam, but what is a New York number doing calling me?
I know, it happens
It
to
always
me
makes for a
too.
good conversation.
They always ask, like, well, what brought you here? And you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should answer this. Anyhow.
Yeah, but like I said, it always leads to something fun. So I'm like, you know what? And it's just I'm in too deep now to change it. You know,
I hear
it's
you.
just been too long.
Well, I appreciate you picking up my call. I was curious, were you able to get into that listing over at 1425 Oak Hill in Plano?
Yes, we were able to get in there. I think we had booked before there was an open house scheduled, so we tried to get in there a little early before that.
Okay, great.
And
yeah. Will your buyer be presenting an offer?
I don't think so at this time. I think their main issue was the bedrooms size.
Okay.
I think for them, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the house that has like the walk down
Yes.
into the living room, big fireplace. Yeah, they thought. I mean, we all thought the living space was awesome. They like the location because it's pretty close to work for them.
Sure.
But the problem is, I think they have both their parents visit them a lot. So in terms of bedrooms, they need like a decent amount of space, and they were feeling like the bedrooms might be a little too tight for them. So that kind of had them just thinking about it, but not really sure. And then we're looking all over, to be honest with you. We've looked in Plano, Rowlett, Garland. So I think we're really trying to pinpoint exactly where they want to be.
Oh, that makes sense. You can get a lot more for the money in Garland.
Yeah, they're like, do we go for a bigger space in Garland here, or do we go closer to work in Plano, but like maybe have smaller space? So they love the house. So the house was great. I think they're just like, they're thinking about like capability of we know we have parents here all the time. We're gonna be able to do this. They felt like the bedroom might be a little too small for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So at this time, they won't be. I mean, do you guys get any offers?
Yeah, I mean, we had 11 showings, which for this market is definitely my most popular listing, and I think we're probably going to get one in today.
Oh yeah, and we knew that. Like, I mean, when we were walking out, I was like, "This is Plano for this price point, this location." I was like, I don't see this thing on the market for a long time. So I did tell them that on the way out, just so they knew, like, Plano, Plano is just a desirable spot. So if you have something that's updated there, you're going to do well.
I really appreciate you sharing that with them. Okay. So in terms of list price, do you think that if they did revisit it, they would make an offer at that price, or do you think they saw more value at a lower price?
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's kind of at the top of their range.
Okay.
Of where they're approved. Like they're approved for a little more, obviously, but where they're comfortable with what their mortgage might look like and stuff, that's kind of the top of their range too. So that was another, those the two things with the bedrooms and that being at the top of their range. So would it make them not do it? I don't think so. If it was 100%, hey, we really think this will work. I don't think it would stop them price wise, but I do know it's at the top of their range right now. So
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll definitely keep you updated if anything changes, and I'll keep an eye on it just in case. I might have other people who are looking out in Plano too. So
I appreciate that.
I'll definitely let you know. Yeah.
Would love to work with you. Okay. Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
if you have any
But
other
thank you for reaching
questions,
out.
for sure. It was nice to meet a
Yeah,
fellow New
yeah.
Yorker. What borough did you live in?
So I was born in Brooklyn and lived in Queens. My parents are still in Howard Beach now.
Oh, how
Actually,
cool.
yeah. What about you?
Well, you don't like us. I'm from Hoboken, so you guys make fun of us.
You know what? I'm not that type of person though, because I worked in Manhattan, so I would, you know, I was dealing with we had
Bridge
people
and
from
tunnel
Jersey,
people.
Long Island, we had everybody in our building, so I was friends with everybody. I was a fire safety director in Midtown Manhattan for like 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
I ran
yeah,
the tunnel
before I
to
came out here.
towers 3 times with the Hoboken Police Department. Thank you for all that
Oh,
you
really?
do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's a small world, right? I mean, my wife is from out here, so I met her 10 years ago, and I was, you know, we were coming out here so much, and at some point I just fell in love with it. About 7, 8 years ago, we were like, let's just make the move. So,
Until you got hit with the tornadoes.
oh yeah, the tornadoes are the one thing that I'm like, you know, that's the one turn off for me. But aside from that, I'm like, I'm trying to convince my whole family to come out here still. So,
Oh, good luck. My
just
parents
getting
will
out of New
never
York,
leave
yeah.
Jersey.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like change for people over in the tri-state area is like, you know, it's mind-boggling for them. They're like, why would I leave here? Everything's here, but it's also terrible at the same time. You're like,
That's accurate
you know.
statement. For sure. It was so nice to meet you,
Yeah.
Andrew. I'm going to save your number.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that
Yeah,
we
please
can
do.
do a deal together. You seem great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Same here. Yeah, if we could ever chat or something, that'd be awesome. I'll save your number too.
For sure. You know, I'm hosting an event with do you know who Aaron Novello is?
Sounds familiar.
He's like a celebrity real estate trainer on Wednesday at the Cross Country Mortgage Building. Where is that? It's like Addison off the tollway. If you want to come, it's 11 a.m. I can send you the invite.
Yeah, send it to me. If I can make that work, I'll definitely let you know.
You got it. All right. Take care, Andrew. Have a good one.
Appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. So reading between the lines, what I just learned is I'm not sure that that's a potential buyer because when someone like if you have a listing in a neighborhood that's more expensive and they tell you that they're looking for a bigger house, but they're looking in a cheaper neighborhood, and it seems like that's more important to them, you may not be able to put together a deal. But I did get some feedback in terms of price. He seems to think that that price is going to sell fast. So that's important for you to know as a listing agent. If people say things to you like, well, you know, they were going to offer a bit below, then you know that you do need a price reduction. So I hope that you guys could hear that conversation. That's why I put it on speaker. What I got from the conversation is that A, his clients don't really want to spend what we're listed at, which is I think 425. B, they're also looking in less expensive areas. So if they want a bigger house like he's describing, they'll be able to find it at the price point they're looking. And I probably should have asked the follow-up question, like how important is school system or school district to them? Because that is the big difference between Garland and Plano. Garland does not have highly rated schools. And then he probably would have said something to me like, oh, they don't have kids, or yes, they have kids. And I probably could have sold through the objection, but that was my bad for not asking the question. What questions do you guys have for me so far about calling brokers to make a deal happen? That's why I'm making these calls happen live today and letting you see these conversations. I'm also filling out my weekly market reports for my sellers as we chit chat. Any questions you guys have for me, drop it in the chat. I'm here to help. This is an inside view as to what I do every Monday and Tuesday to get more offers for my sellers. Go ahead, drop any questions you have. I'm filling out this report. That's why I'm quiet right now. Let's see. Who does he work for? Have you actually gotten a buyer agent to put in an offer? Yeah, all the time. That's a great question. So, question in the chat is, have you actually gotten a buyer agent to put in an offer afterwards? Absolutely. Most buyers agents, they don't really know how to ask their buyers questions. Again, nobody really teaches you this stuff, right? So a lot of the times when I'll say things like, "Hey, have you asked them how important school district is? Have you asked them, at what price would they make an offer?" What happens is the buyer's agent goes back to the buyer and they ask the buyer these questions, and the buyer says, actually, we would have offered 450 on that house. We just didn't want to insult them. Or they'll say something like, yeah, we didn't know that the school district there was way better on your house than on the other house we were looking at. Thank you for pointing that out. And you will get offers. The biggest thing that you're looking for here is, how is the market really reacting to your listing and the price of your listing? And what buyers agents and buyers tell you is everything you need to know. Because other than that, you're guessing. You really don't know what people are saying about your property. So without asking, you have no actual information to be able to service your client. And that's the whole point of us asking all these questions. So I'm going to make my next call. And the longer you guys do this, the better you're going to get at it. To like, really, the objections are commonly the same. Oh, they're still looking. Oh, they just started their search, all this type of stuff. So the more you do it, the better you're going to be able to, help people to self-discover that your property is the one they should be making an offer on. And a lot of the times, buyers agents, they have common misconceptions too. Like somebody will say something to you like, oh yeah, they really like the property, but they heard that there's a new bar going in across the street and they don't want all the noise. And you can say something like, if you know that's not true, or if it's like a rumor, where'd you hear that from? Have you checked the city zoning to see if a permit was issued? You can give them real information to help them with some objections that might be the reason why you're not getting an offer. But again, we have to communicate. This is all a part of our job. A lot of my agents that I train to do this, they complain about it because it does take a lot of time. But this is something that when we agree to take a listing and we promise the seller we're going to help them, this is one of the jobs that we promise them we're going to do. Again, I told you agents never pick up the phone. You're going to have to call them 2, 3, 4 times. Totally normal.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail for Jennifer McDaniel with Keller Williams.
I'm going to send her a text message, and then I am also going to send her a voice message. You have to make sure your phone's available to take calls if you ask somebody to call you back. I am the queen of my phone being on Do Not Disturb and someone being like, I called you. So bad. All right. So that agent, I just sent her a text message. We're going to give her a minute to respond, move on to the next one. Hey, Renuka, it's Jessica Nelson. How are you today? Good. Thank you for answering. I wanted to ensure, were you able to get in to show the property at 1425 Oak Hill? Oh, awesome. And are your clients presenting an offer? Yes, ma'am. That's right.
That kind of didn't work for him because of that. He was hoping for an attached garage.
Oh, okay. Have you been able to find an attached garage with updates in Plano ISD for that price?
Yeah. I just closed at a home, very similar to this with an attached garage. I can give you the address, and that's Middle Cove.
Oh, that's the one that they bought?
904 Middle Cove is my other client who bought it. That was also one of the listing we bought, but this is for a separate, different client.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure if there's something like that currently available. That's what I was asking.
Not right now, but there was one that came, and then we bought it and leased it too. That went pretty fast.
Hmm. Yeah, this one should lease pretty quickly because we're also on the market for lease and we've had 3 applications so far.
Oh, how much have you leased it for?
We're marketing at 2550. So if somebody wanted to charge a little bit more, considering we got 3 applications in 1 week, they probably could.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to my other investor who bought Middle Cove and see if he wants to see this work.
Okay, perfect. And this investor, the only reason why is the attached garage?
He's not an investor. This was for his primary.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, he was going to live in
suppose
India.
maybe you could, or they could build like a carport that wouldn't be too crazy of an expense.
No, he's already given me a feedback that he doesn't want to move. I showed him about 8 homes that day.
Oh,
He
goodness.
said no to all 8.
So he's just going to stay where he's at.
Yeah, he did like him, and there's something or the other. I'm going to show him a few more this week, hopefully, before he flies out to Europe. He lives about 6 months in Europe and 6 months here.
Oh, goodness. That's a lot of work
Yeah.
for someone who's not too certain. God bless you.
I know. It has been. He's been one of my most pickiest clients, is what I would say.
Does he have to sell that home to buy?
Nothing. He doesn't have a home or anything. It's a cash deal.
Okay.
Yeah, but he just has to like something. That's where we are at.
Understood. And
Yeah,
when
but
does
she
he
said
does he
no.
have any deadline to purchase a home, or is he able to just continue
No.
renting where he's at?
Yeah, he's in a hotel, an Airbnb.
Oh, wow. I would think he'd want to get out of
that's
that.
something else let me know, Jessica. Plano is his preferred area. I've shown him a lot in Coppell as well, and Flower Mound, Highland Village. I think he's kind of leaning towards Plano.
Gotcha. I do have a
If you
number
have
of
something
listings in Plano. I have one coming soon, but it's a full renovation. It would need a lot of work. It's a much bigger property. Does he want one that's already renovated?
He doesn't want he calls them lipstick on a pig, so he's really not looking for a rehab or the one that has been like a turnkey or a flip home.
Okay, so he does want one that he can do himself?
No, he wants something that is updated, but it's not being updated by the investor. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
So that's where I'm having a challenge here. He wants a pretty renovated house, but not something like an investor flip home.
So I do have something that the seller himself lived in and did some renovations. It's not a flip home, but it's in Mesquite and it's priced at $350. Would he look at Mesquite?
No.
No. Okay.
In fact, I'm wanting to skip to one. So you have someone there, having a hard time
You got it. Well, let me know if they change their mind or you want to bring the other investor. Happy to work with you.
Yeah. Let me talk to my other investor, because if you're saying you have applications for 2550, then that would be something he would be interested in.
Yeah, it's right there next to UTD, so it's a great location for renting.
Yeah. I hear you. Sounds good.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See, that's another reason why you make the calls. That buyer that she's working with, that's not a serious buyer. He's not going to buy anything. However, her knowing that information, she's going to go back to her other investor who could be a serious buyer. That's why we make these calls. Hey, Jennifer, sorry about that. I was on the other line with another agent. Curious, we had a bunch of people come to the open house and some of them said that they had agents. You were the only one that actually gave me a note that you had somebody coming. So I was just curious if it was one of your folks that showed up. Listing agent 1425 Oak Hill, Plano. Okay. So that the seller can see what people prefer. What is the other property that she's moving forward with? Yeah. $2716 Rustwood.
Restwood.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna let him know. I'm just pulling it up real fast. was
Yeah.
was she able to get any type of discount on it, or was it full price?
She did offer full price. It was priced really well, so we didn't come in lower than asking on that one. It was actually competitive too. There were a couple offers.
And you said it's 2617 Rustwood.
Rustwood.
I wonder why it's not coming up. Well, I'll find it. This is super helpful. Thank you so much. If for some
Yeah, of
reason
course.
her offer is not accepted, what do you feel she was going to offer on Oak Hill if she were to make an offer?
You know what? I don't know. Just because we didn't get that far, so I don't really feel like I could speak to that. What was can you remind me what the list price was on it?
Yes, ma'am. It's $399.
Oh, she probably would have offered asking, and as long as there were, pending, there were no major issues with the house or anything like that.
Perfect. Well, this is super helpful to me. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I hope
Yeah, of
that
course.
it works out over there, but for some reason it doesn't, give me a call. Happy to work with you.
I definitely will. Thank you for the call and best of luck with the listing.
Thanks, Jen. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Again, that's helpful to us because why is another listing being chosen over ours? There's a reason, right? There's definitely a reason. So this home, I'm looking at it now, and the updates are nicer. It does not look like a flip home. It looks like a home that somebody lived in. It's actually very similar to our listing. It's just a more luxury finish out. And this is helpful to, you want to convey this information, especially if you're working with a flipper, because they need to know what inspires buyers to make offers when they're making choices. Because sometimes, like this property on Rustwood, the difference between that home and the home that my seller is selling is the color of the floors. This one has like honey oak floors. Our floors are like a dark gray. And people are saying our property is dark. People like this property better because it's bright. This is important feedback for him to have in the future with the other flips that he's doing, because it doesn't cost the flipper any more money to buy a lighter color floor. That's just a bad choice, right? So if a bad choice can keep you from getting the money that you need, of course you want to know. Again, it's our job to make these calls to people showing our listings, to help our sellers. That's what I'm doing this morning. I'm looking to make a deal happen. So far, the feedback that I've gotten is, we might be able to find one investor who might be interested. The price seems right, but there's others that are nicer. This is all good for us to know. I'm going to continue going down the line. All right, so we have good feedback. Sorry, guys, I'm writing up this report. Give me a second. I'm going to start making the calls again. If you have questions in the meanwhile, go ahead and drop them. That's what I'm here to do, to help you. We're talking to agents who showed our listings this weekend, and we're looking to put together a deal to help our sellers. Okay. Keep moving down the list. So we've talked to 4 broker agents so far. Keep moving down the list. Any questions you guys have, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm doing this so that you can see how I put together more deals than most agents are able to, just by finding out what's going on with buyers in today's market, what their objections are, and doing our best to overcome them. That is part of our job when a seller agrees to pay us.
Hi, this is Sarah Haskins with the
Agents almost never pick up, so we call them 2, 3, 4 times. We all do it. We're all busy. It's normal.
Hi, this is Sarah.
Send her a text message. All right. So we'll wait for her to call us back. Let's see. Who else? Backyard was not this. It's not working. Keep going down the list. My landscapers love to come in the middle of broadcast so that you can hear my dogs go nuts. If you hear them going insane, sorry about that. Again, calling brokers, putting together deals. It's Monday morning. My listings had showings, but no offers. It's my job to make an offer, to create an offer.
This is Emily Drummond with the Caitlin.
Do you guys find it amazing how many agents don't answer their phone? Our whole business is off our phone and we never answer it. Okay, I'm going to teach you guys a sneaky little trick to get agents to answer their phone. I'm putting this on a live broadcast. So, what do agents fear the most? If you guys had to guess, what do agents fear the most? Does it make agents absolutely terrified to think that they have been working with somebody? They've put in hours showing homes and they're going to lose that buyer to another agent? So, whenever I want an agent to answer me, the way that I get their attention and they like call me back within 30 seconds, hi, such and such name. I think your buyers came to my open house. Want to ensure you get paid. Can you give me a call? If you send this text to an agent, they respond immediately. If you ask, hey, I'm calling for feedback, you're never going to hear from them. Oh, I was wondering what your buyers think. They will never call you back, ever. If you want an agent to call you back, you just have to put a little bit of seed that something might happen to sacrifice their commission, and they will call you back. So that's my sneaky little tip of the day. Do what you want with it. Your girl does not like to be ignored. So I'm going to say what I need to say to get what we need to get done. Let's keep going down this list. All right, who are we calling next? Kenzie. Kenzie has to be a great agent. What a wonderful name she has. Oops, I put in the wrong number. My fault. Sorry, Kens.
You've reached Mackenzie Krieg with Hunter Dane Realty. Please leave me a message or You've reached Mackenzie Krieg with Hunter Dane Realty. Please leave me a message or shoot me a text.
All right, we're going to text her. Hi, Kenzie. What a great name. I believe your buyers joined our open house this weekend. Can you give me a call? Want to protect your commission. She's going to call me back. They always call you back. All right. Keep going down the list.
This is Alma.
Hey, Alma, it's Jessica Nelson with EXP. How are you today?
Good, good.
I'm not recruiting you. That's always the first thing people say. No, I wanted to make sure. Were you able to get into, I think you had a showing at 1425 Oak Hill in Plano, the renovated property?
Yes. I think I sent you, did we spoke the day after?
I'm not sure. I've had so many showings on that property. I'm just following up with everyone to ensure, fairness to the public before we accept an offer.
No. Yeah, I think I gave you some feedback because you let us tour, I think, the day of. So the feedback for them was the cigarette smell, but you responded. Yeah, you responded to that.
Have you guys gone back? It shouldn't smell at all. I think it was just from the painter who went there to do touch-ups.
Yeah, no, we haven't been back. So we actually went under contract on a property.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, let's tour, and then that was pretty much it.
They knew they found the one. Which property did they move forward with?
This one they're doing, I think it's also in Plano. It is, sorry, literally looking for their file. We're on option here right now. It's 1207 Chris Ridge Drive, which I think it was like 5 minutes away from that one.
No, that's super helpful. I know that the property over on Rustwood got multiple offers too. It just seems like it's good. It's picking up locally. So congrats on getting under contract on that. Are you guys in option period now?
We're in option period, yeah, currently.
Okay,
So
awesome.
we'll see how that goes. It's not we're not there yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, if something comes up and they just get a bad feeling, we're not under contract, so feel free to come back. I do think we're probably going to get something that's a good offer today, but look, I don't have anything in hand right now.
Okay. I'll definitely let her know if anything changes, and I'll reach out.
I'd love to work with you, Alma. Thank you so much.
No problem. You have a good one.
You too. Bye. Again, that's helpful feedback. I was too slow because I'm like I was on speaker, but normally I would pull up the address and I would ask them questions about what they liked about it so that our seller can know why other homes are getting picked over theirs. So for this one, I could tell why they chose it. It's because it's listed at 369, which is 40,000 below us. Wow. That is a really nice property for 40,000 less than what we're listed at. But good for them. All right, y'all. Well, I hope that this was helpful to you. Like I said, I'm going to continue to show you how we actually get deals done. I think it's a real shame if you're experiencing now, like your broker doesn't really show you how to do deals, you're feeling like a little bit lost and you just really don't have the support. Feel free to be my YouTube and Instagram friend. I'm really just trying to educate people the way that I had wished someone had educated me when I started my career, instead of having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on coaching, because I know a lot of people getting started in the industry now, you just don't have that type of money. So if I can be helpful to you in any way, feel free to reach out. I am a senior mentor for EXP, which means that if you felt like you wanted to get proximity to me and perhaps work with me on a one-on-one basis with, out having to pay a team split, I do not charge for coaching. You could go ahead and reach out to me and set up a time to learn more about what that would look like. I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I am looking for hungry people that want to improve their life. If you are somebody who's just looking for leads, I'm not your girl. I am not for you. If you are someone who's looking for, your life to just suddenly improve without doing any work, I'm not your girl. If you're somebody who is willing to put in the work, you want more for yourself, you see better for yourself, all you need is just a little bit of guidance to help you there, I'm your girl. I'm happy to be that person. I want to be to somebody else what no one was to me, because I know what that feels like. You're working your ass off. You're not understanding why you're not making money, and no one's helping you. They're all just saying, try harder. I am trying hard. What do you mean try harder? So if I can help you in any way, just reach out. We can get on a call, see if we're a good fit for each other. And I would be happy to discuss what partnering with me at EXP would look like. I wish you all lots of commission checks, happy deals. I'm going to go out and get all of these dang listings. I have 7 of them right now that are not selling. I got to go do price reductions or get them an offer by doing exactly what you just saw me do for the past hour. I wish you guys well. God bless you. Thank you.